quorum. All four of us, if you're here, say aye.
Aye.
We have a quorum. So we need, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from September 9th?
Yes.
Yes. All right, I have as well. I'll entertain a motion to approve or modify.
That we approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Carries.
Okay.
All right, old business, we have none. And new business, we have one on the agenda. This is 2024 SUP 303 North Esplanade. And so we'll conduct a public hearing for that. First, we'll have a staff report.
Okay, thank you.
Julie, please.
Yep, so as you said, this is a special use permit request for 303 North Esplanade to allow an accessory dwelling unit or an ADU. The applicants are requesting the ADU to allow continuance of the approval of the special use to allow continuance of the ADU at their property. There is an existing detached accessory building, you can see here, that was constructed in 2004. When this was constructed, there were no regulations that we had specifically addressing ADUs, and so since the time it was constructed, it has been used as a separate apartment unit. There is a single unit in there as well as the 2-car garage that you can see. So the owners are looking to continue using it as an ADU. It would be considered an existing non-conforming use, which our regulations do allow an existing non-conforming use to continue with no change. They would just like to get a separate address for it for benefit of any residents staying in it as well as for emergency services. And so just in order to do that, we need to bring it into conformance, and since we now require a special use permit for an ADU, that's why we are here tonight. So there are no proposed changes to this, no proposed additions, really again just bringing it into conformance with our existing regulations. So as you probably remember, it was just a couple of years ago that we added the regulations to specifically account for ADUs, since we're getting a few requests for those. So just to kind of briefly run through the requirements of these. The first is that it shall be compatible with the design of the principal dwelling unit, which this is. The second is that it shall respect the general building scale and placement of structures to allow sharing of common space on the lot, such as driveways and yards. The third is that it shall not have a separate driveway entrance from the street to which the property is adjacent. The fourth is that it shall be 900 square feet or smaller in size, not to exceed 33% of the floor area of the principal dwelling unit. The fifth is that either the principal dwelling unit or the accessory dwelling unit must be occupied by the owner of the premises. Sixth is that it shall meet all building code requirements for a single family dwelling unit. And seven is that lots containing accessory dwelling units shall contain a minimum of 2 off-street parking spaces exclusive of garage space. This does happen to meet all of those requirements, which is great since it was constructed 20 years before we even had the requirements. So this is exactly the type of situation we like to see for these. So the commission may recommend issuance of a special use permit based on 4 criteria, which again I'll go through briefly. The first is that the proposed special use complies with all applicable provisions of our ordinance. Staff does believe that the application complies with all provisions of the development regulations. The second is that the proposed special use at the specified location will contribute to and promote the economic development, welfare, or convenience of the public. ADUs are generally viewed as a valuable tool to help communities broaden housing choice in single-family neighborhoods, so that would meet that criteria. The third is that the special use will not cause substantial injury to the value of other property in the neighborhood in which it's located. And based on available information, staff does not believe that the use will cause any substantial injury to the value of other property in the neighborhood. Again, it is existing. There are no proposed changes or additions as part of this. And then the fourth is that the location and size of the special use, the nature and intensity of the operation involved in or conducted in connection with it, and the location of the site with respect to streets giving access to it are such that the special use will not dominate the immediate neighborhood, so as to prevent development and use of neighboring property in accordance with the applicable zoning district regulations. And again, this is existing, and there are no proposed changes or additions as part of it. So staff would recommend approval of the special use permit based on the findings included in your policy report. We did send notification to property owners within 200 feet of the property as required by Kansas statute, and did not have any questions or comments that we received after we sent that. So I can answer any questions that you might have, and the owners are here as well.
Great, thank you. We'll start with discussion among the commissioners. Any questions you have for the staff at this time? No? All right, I'd like to open the public hearing and hear from the applicant, please.
You just wanna go just to the podium so we can, you don't have to add a whole lot, but just if there's anything that you wanna say.
Yeah, and I know I have one question for you. And we'll see what you'll state your name and your address, just for the record, clearly into the microphone, please.
I am Christopher LaRue. My address is 303 North Esplanade Street here in Leavenworth. I'm an Army officer and I'm retiring here in town, and this is where we decided to settle after, forever.
Yes. Congratulations on your retirement.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Thank you for choosing Leavenworth.
It's good, it sounds like it's lovely. Yeah. You want
Sure, I'm Danielle LaRue. I also live at 303 North Esplanade. Married to this guy.
Okay.
So we purchased the place in 2022. It existed. We were not overseas. We were in Montana. It's kind of overseas.
That's pretty close compared to.
It's funny how everybody thinks they're cowboys once you get west of Mississippi. I mean, even Missouri. So we were out there. We lived in Leavenworth twice, stationed here twice prior to that, and this house came up, so we bought it. We rented it to ILE majors kids for a couple of years before we really moved back, and we were renting with an in-town property manager, and we got back. We had the house rented, and we're like, we need to square this away and do this right, and that was really the intention behind it all. The gentleman, just an older gentleman that we kind of knew from the first few times, who lives back there. We just really want to make sure we get an address so like he can register to vote and he gets no mail, and really in case emergency services had to show up.
Sure.
I mean, really just basically trying to do the right thing.
Absolutely, and we appreciate it. Any questions from the commissioners for the applicants?
No.
No. So it is occupied right now?
Yes.
Okay. And you're planning to make this a long-term rental, not a short-term rental, correct? Okay. And you know that if it was a short-term rental, we have a different process for that, should you elect to do that. And will you be using a rental company or?
No, we're self.
Doing it on your own?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, so I say that we used a local friend of ours that also owns a company that advertised it, but
Sure.
hopefully Brad stays for,
a while.
yeah.
Okay.
We could deal with having like normalcy.
Okay.
That makes any sense.
You're great. Thank you. Is there anyone from the community that wants to speak on this matter? Okay, you can have a seat. We'll close the public hearing unless. Okay. So we have before us all of this great information from the staff on what needs to happen. We've heard from the applicants. Now I'll entertain discussion or any type of motions that anyone is holding within their hearts.
I make a motion that we approve the case based on the findings and conditions as stated and presented by staff.
All right, so we have a motion to approve.
Seconded.
And it's second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's 4-0.
Okay, yep, so this will go to City Commission for final approval, and we will make sure we get those dates to the LaRues, and so should be all squared away.
Yes. Okay. And I want to personally thank you, Julie, for all of the hard work that you have put in. I've been on both sides, well, I won't say sides. I have been.
Both ends of the dais, yes.
Yes, and you have consistently been a voice of reason and just a incredible thinker in how do we solve this instead of, you know, how can we just move it along or whatever. You've really taken the initiative, and the city is a better place having you in this role. And hopefully, I said the same thing to Paul, but hopefully when you come back up to Leavenworth and visit us, or maybe come back and come work for us, you can still take pleasure in driving around the city and the city of Leavenworth and seeing all the things that you help contribute to make this place a better place and for a place that people want to pick to retire in. Well,
I certainly appreciate it and have thoroughly enjoyed being here for 10 years, and it's always a little bittersweet to move on. So, yes, I'll absolutely be back, and gonna miss everybody here. And for Bill's benefit, since you weren't here, this is my last planning commission meeting. As you probably gathered, yes, so the 20th of this month is my last day. This is Scott Peterson.
Yes, Scott, nice to meet you.
Yep, I don't know if you've met, he's our new city manager. So today was his first day, and so.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Condolences.
Yeah, busy first day, so stay for an evening meeting. So my position is advertised. I know that they've gotten a few applications in so far and looking to get interviews set up here pretty quick to get that filled as quick as they can. So we've got some details to iron out about what the interim will look like. But yeah, Scott has a pretty solid background in planning and community development, so great to have his sort of expertise and background on that to help smooth the transition. And so there are a number of items on the December Planning Commission agenda, and then however long it takes to get someone in here. And so it'll either be Scott or Penny Holler, the assistant city manager, who will be here with Michelle next month to take care of things, and we will make sure it keeps rolling as smooth as we can.
Thanks for your service.
Yes, I was gonna say, you are a credit to our planning profession.
Thank you.
I do appreciate all that you've done for the city as well as planning in general. And I know you will be a true asset to Leawood.
Well, thank you.
I miss you
Yeah.
terribly.
It's a big loss.
I know, it's tough, but looking forward to a new opportunity. And our department has such a great staff, Michelle and everybody else that we have that put in so much hard work. Your staff is who makes you look good and actually is doing most of what we take care of. So the department is in good hands with Michelle and whoever we get this position filled with and move on, and
I wish you all the best.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. All right, we have nothing else on the agenda, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, yes, sir.
My name's Clay Engelhardt. I had put in an application to have a plat approved, and I was told that would be talked about tonight and decided whether that would be approved. That's why I'm here.
What's the address of the property?
309 Wilson Avenue.
2309 Wilson.
There was an email that was sent out.
I've never received anything about it.
Is that on the agenda for
An offline conversation perhaps?
yeah.
Yeah, that's been ongoing with the surveyor.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's some outstanding issues on that have been,
Can we have somebody from the department talk
Yep,
with
absolutely.
him tomorrow?
I've
Absolutely.
done everything everybody's asked me to do and talked to everybody and paid the fees everybody's asked for.
Sure. Okay. So it sounds like there's a few missing pieces that just need to be checked off, and so somebody from the staff will call you tomorrow and get in touch with you and go over what that needs to be. Is that, I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but
No, we can
that,
speak with Mr. Engelhardt after the meeting,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
This is what every time I go in and
Sure.
ask for one thing, they say, do this, I get what I did, done everything that's gonna do, and go back, and they say, well, no, you gotta have this, and this also.
yes,
You know, it's.
I understand.
It feels like you're trying to throw every roadblock in front of me that you can so this won't happen.
And I don't believe the staff would do that, intentionally put roadblocks.
I'm just saying as a citizen, that's how it feels.
they'll talk with you and somebody in the department will talk to you. We only meet monthly, so it has to get on the agenda and we have a lot of things, so, that does cause some delay in that, but that's just the process that we have.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for speaking up. All right, I'll entertain the motion.
Return.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There we go.
See you later.